The 1960s are my favorite decade, my favorite era to teach and to learn about. By far. There's so much going on in such a short amount of time. There are important leaders in the world who are reaching their peak during that decade and unfortunately losing their life also way too early during that decade. The civil rights movement in the United States, as well as the cultural shifts that are beginning to take place that carry over to this day. In particular, the Vietnam War, which is my favorite conflict to look at, looking at all the crazy footage we have available, and then the anti-war protests that coincided with that. So the 1960s, it's a fun decade to look at.
Hey guys, Cliff here from That Was History. Out of all the time periods from history that I study, I personally have a very special interest in the American Revolutionary era. I tend to have a deep patriotism for the United States, and I'm constantly amazed by the passion and efforts of our founding fathers and the Continental Army. This picture of George Washington crossing the Delaware actually sends a little chill up my spine. The people of this time period are the most important pieces of the puzzle that would become known as the United States of America, and that's the reason I love talking about revolutionary topics so much.
Hello everyone, Rocio here from the Course of History, and today I will be answering the question, what is your favorite era to study? And for me, hands down, it has to be World War II, and the reason for that is because when you're given the opportunity to listen to a Jewish woman tell you her story and her experience in World War II, or when you can attend a lecture given by a Navajo code talker and listen to his story, World War II becomes more than just the dates and the facts. It becomes about an individual and their story and their experience. And so being able to hear their stories has made an impact on me personally, and so that is why World War II is my favorite to study.
Hey, Cypher here. I'm not really a teacher though, so I'm a student, so I'm going to answer this by saying what I study most. Now, I study two major subjects. One is America's Small Wars. I did an entire video on this, so I'm not going to bother explaining what that is. If you want to know more about what America's Small Wars are, go ahead and click this. My other subject is intellectual history. I minored in philosophy when I was an undergrad, and the whole point of intellectual history is the study of how ideology is formed and how it affects different historical events. Philosophy is kind of the key force in all of that. And intellectual history isn't just about how the ivory tower sees everything, but more who came up with what ideas first and how that has changed the public perception of the world. Suffice it to say, it's a pretty broad category, but it has major significance to world history.
Hi, my name is Paul Sargent, and without a doubt, my favorite period to teach in history is the Renaissance. An explosion of ideas, rediscovery of ancient texts, and most of all, Renaissance art. The absolute greatest art that mankind has ever produced was created during this time. I love exposing kids to that. I love talking about it. And I love the fact that it's the beginning of the year and everyone's excited. So my answer, the Renaissance.